Hello, welcome to another episode of Bicycle Workshop Tales. This week we have a 50-mile ride, a trip to Wales, and some stuff about fiddling with a bike. Keep watching, hope you enjoy it. Catch you in a bit. Hello, good morning. Right, so today is Monday, so ride day. So I am getting prepped for, I'm going to pre-ride the Surly 100 route. So food-wise, I take, Sheila makes flapjacks. So these have got really, really low sugar, but very high in everything else. So they've got apricots, dates, big raisins, oats, egg, tiny bit of honey just to give it a little bit of stickiness to keep it together, and and lots of nuts as well. I can't remember how many nuts. She puts lots of nuts and seeds, and they're really filling. So I've got 3 of these. I individually wrap them in some tin foil and just stuff those in, and then we'll just see what else we can take. Then I normally carry a couple of bottles of water, one big, one small. I don't know what that is, but that usually does me, because you can always refill. So wherever you're going, it's always good to have an idea of where to get refilled, pubs and stuff like that. And then the bike there's always somewhere. Is the Surly Karate Monkey, all kitted out. Looking forward to riding this. Haven't really ridden it with these tyres. I've just changed the tyres to Vittoria Mezcal, so it should roll a bit quicker. I've got my backpack, seat pack. Should I want to shed any clothes or anything, I've got somewhere to put them, because I don't wear a backpack at all. Everything goes on the bike. It's much easier. You keep the weight off your bum and off the seat, so it helps with your backside. I've got tools in that side, tool keg down there with a Fix Plus mount, which I showed you the other day. In here I'll put my food, flapjacks. I might have a couple of bananas. I'll just go and grab in a minute. Navigation's on my Wahoo. I've got an extra mount here for the GoPro should I want to hang it in a tree and do any extra filming. It's just after 7:30 in the morning, and it's freezing cold outside, so I've got a few layers on. This is all stolen goat clothing. I've got an outer lightweight jacket, stretchy jacket. Underneath I've got my Peaches short sleeve top, and under that I've got a merino base layer, which I wear a lot. Wear them most days. I'll put a link to all of the things that I've got on. I've also got some Stolen Goat bib shorts. These are actually the winter ones, but I find them so comfortable. The material's a little bit thicker and a bit more cushioned, and I just like them. They're just nice. Even in the warm weather, I wear these. That's about it really. Gloves wise, I've got some Stolen Goat long finger gloves somewhere, and I've also got my Psychology mitts, which I got the other day for my birthday, which I love. They've got some really nice padding. Cycle mitts are worth looking at if you do distance, because they've got padding in the palm, which helps stop your palms and your carpal tunnel getting smashed. Just helps with pins and needles and stuff like that. Good idea. Alright, they might be roadie type gloves, but it doesn't matter if you're a mountain biker in the summer. Plus you can use your phone. Obviously your fingers are free to use your phone and whatever else you want to do. Right, I'm going to get the rest of the bits together. look at it. I haven't got very far. I've been filming a bit with the drone. Then I suddenly realised I've got no SD card in the drone. So I had to take the GoPro off, take the SD card out of the GoPro. So I've been faffing around for quite a while. I've got a bit of footage. Trouble is, when you're filming, riding, planning a route all at the same time on your own, it's quite time consuming. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time because I want to basically ride this route. I want to make sure that the route's okay and that I can get round it myself. So I probably won't be filming an awful lot. I've got loads of cameras with me, but I don't think I'm going to be using much. We'll see. But oh man, the weather, look at it. It's just amazing. Okay, it's a fantastic, oh God, I hope the weather's like this one with the vents on because it's just amazing. You're gonna love it. I'll try and get a few pictures as well today. I was supposed to be riding with Pat, one of the sponsors, but he's had trouble with his boiler and I couldn't ride with him the one day anyway. So it may be another ride coming up at the end of the week, we'll see. But right, I'm gonna get on because time's are ticking. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Right, quick up. So when you come out of Southam, you go flat on the Surly 100 for about 20 miles. And then you come out onto the main road before you get to Cleve Hill, turn left, and then it's up and up and up and up. And it's the biggest climb of the whole weekend. You climb all the way, but at the top, and I advise you to stick to the path on the main road on the left. Just stick to the path until you see the Rising Sun pub. Turn right up this side road there, it's short, steep. Then you're out on here. But the carrot, to bear in mind, is up there. Is a coffee and beer and food. It's the golf club. So once you get to the top, that's your reward.
Lovely. Whoa, that was fun. Coming up to the bench, here it is. Get yourself on the bench. So a bit more flapjack, I think. So today's ride is going really quite well. I've got about 20 odd miles to do. 23. Feeling good. The sun is out. It's taken me a long time. I'm not sure how long I've been out since 8 o'clock. It's now 1, nearly 2. And I've got 22 miles. It's going to be a long day, but it always is when you're filming. You just stop, start, stop, start. I've just been sat here flying a drone trying to get some shots. Of course, you only use a little bit of it, but the route I've ridden today is not going to be the finished route. I've got to tweak it still. There's a couple of bits I've found that are really, really rough from horses. All right, not too bad. Yeah. You got the right idea. Who's got a spliff gun? I can smell it right up there. Gosh, it's lovely. All the days like this, eh? Nice bit of single track. No one around. You on the bike. Look at it, Cotswolds. What can you say? The Cotswolds has to be the best part of the UK, I'd say. Such a lot of variety. I've been all over, but I always come back here and think I'm so lucky to live in the Cotswolds. Got every sort of trail you can think of, really. Rocky, woody, soft, steep, flat. It's all here. The gallops. Right, I'm going that way. Six miles to go. Oh.
Hello, Fran. Where are we going today? There was a lay-by which we
We are going to the Elan Valley near Rhayader. Never been here before, not specifically to the Elan Valley. We're going to have 2 days. Is it 2 days?
yes.
2 days in the Welsh mountains.
You need to look at.
Oh,
Panic
the radio's just come back on.
good.
Welcome to Rhayader. What a fruit. Wow. Lush spot.
This is a part of Wales that I've heard about and read about and never been to. Don't ask me why, but Elan Valley is, and Llantudor Wells and Builth Wells is sort of where mountain biking really kicked off, really. There's the toilets. Baby's pulling me along. Someone's gone to check out the toilets. Lovely. (1904 to 2004). It's been here a while. It's at Elan Valley Visitors Centre. It's the old bridge when the river was a river, and then they dammed it. And I guess there's pipes underneath here that run a turbine in there, by the sound of it. Someone's hot. Go a bit more in a minute. Well, that's the view we've woken up to this morning in the van. So, as I mentioned, we are in the Elan Valley, near the reservoir. We're just up the road from the reservoir at a campsite called Elan Oaks. If you have got a motorhome or you want to camp, I can't recommend this place more highly. It's quite new. It's run by two brothers, and they really have invested in it. It's literally within walking distance of the reservoir, and all of the valleys around. Loads of cycling, loads of mountain biking. There's bike tracks all over the place, and yeah, it's just really, really nice spot. What you will notice, or actually you probably can't see, I don't know if you can see over there, but I will go out in a minute. There's fires. I've noticed on the news online, there's fires all over Wales, and there's fires here near Aberystwyth. The Gorse is on fire, and it's down in Port Talbot, everywhere, because this March has been extremely dry, much drier than it's been in years, and the slightest spark just sets everything off. And of course, nothing's got any life in it yet. It's all very dry plants. There's no greenery, so it's just prime for burning. Which is quite worrying, really, because there's a lot of birds nesting now at this time of the year. Lots of animals, spring's coming, and they'll be caught up in it. So I don't know. I cannot imagine how many birds have been caught in the fires.
amongst other things. So yeah, anyway, so today we're going out on the bike, and I'm going to take the dog bike out, take BB out on the bike, and Sheila's coming with me. Brought her bike as well, so I'll have a bit of a ride around and show you what's what. Yeah, that's where we are. You can see that. Tell you what I need to do is learn how to put maps on videos. I don't know how to do it. See that? What's the time now? Do you know? Oh, right. About 9:45. Yeah, you can see the blue. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but the air is blue with the smoke from the fires, but not smelling as strong as it did this morning. Not good, is it? Anyway, we're headed up. We're going to ride around and see how many of the dams we can see. We're sort of riding up where we walked yesterday at the moment, aren't we? Mist over the lake. Yeah. Yeah, that mist, I reckon, is half of it's smoke. In fact, it is smoke. You can smell it. That's smoke. Yeah, smoke from the fires coming over from Aberystwyth. I don't know. So this is an underwater dam. So there's a dam underneath the water. So if it drops to a certain level, I guess it stops it going any lower. The Elan estate. It's all the historic dams. So we're by that one. The dams and reservoirs in the Elan Valley were constructed between 1892 and 1904, with up to 5,000 men employed in the mammoth task at any one time. In all, over 50,000 men passed through the books over the 13 years. The reservoirs have supplied Birmingham with water since 1904 and now also serve the local area as well as parts of South Wales in times of shortage. The Clwyn Dam was built between 1946 and 1952 and was opened by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as one of her first engagements. Like a mirror, look at that. Beautiful. Something about water and reflections. Oh, here you go. Aha. We were just thinking, where's the dam? And then there's a dam. All these carvings. Look at that. A 100 occupants of the Elan Valley had to move, but only landowners received compensation payments. Demolished buildings including 3 manor houses, 18 farms and a school and a church, which were replaced by the corporation of can't pronounce that. A railway line was constructed to transport the workers and thousands of tons of building material each day. A village of wooden huts was purposely built to house most of the workers on the site of the present Elan village. God.
The water is extracted from the Fowl Tower to the Severn Trent water treatment works. Chlorine, fluoride and lime are added to neutralise the acidic water. An average of 300 million litres of water a day from the Elan Valley can be extracted to supply Birmingham. Once the Clwyn Dam was completed, this nearly doubled the available water for Birmingham. Cool. Impressive things, Dan, aren't they? To think that was a river, they blocked the river and built the dam. I guess they must have built something to let the water through as they built the rest of it, and then they finally blocked it off with that. Imagine the water gushing over there around. Yeah. Nice spot for a cafe. Right. Food consumed. We're ready, Sheila? Nearly. See you in a while. Good gracious. Good gracious me. It's empty. Look at that. It is empty. That's supposed to be overflowing. My word. That's going to take some filling up. I am. I sort of guessed it was them.
Yeah, I did as well.
That's a couple from the camp there on the campsite next to us. We keep bumping into them, and I keep saying I need to film. We have a little chat every time we stop. Our paths keep crossing, and I keep turning the camera off because I just don't like putting the camera in people's faces, but I'll ask them later. Look at that, you can almost, well, you can walk across.
Yeah, I would have thought you'd get there.
Wow. Where you been? Sorry, you right if I film you?
Sorry?
Is it alright if I film you?
Yeah.
I've got a YouTube channel.
All right.
Getting all self-conscious now.
You do very well too.
I know. So I'll turn it off now, see? Yeah. Right then, we'll go back down the other side. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like lakes. How are we doing? Having a good time? Here we go then. We're back. Is that right with you? Sure you can see that on the thing. I've captured a load on my phone, but the sky is full of red kites. Never seen so many.
Hello. Right. Bear with me. Excuse me a sec. So, what a week. Had a great week. 2 big rides, or 2 rides. I've ridden the, I've been checking out parts of the Surly 100 route for this last week. I went out on the Monday and the Friday. And I've also been off to Rhayader, as you saw, in mid-Wales. But today is Saturday. I don't know what day it is. And I'm just doing some tweaks to the bike. I was out yesterday on this, because Monday I rode the Surly, and Friday I rode my fat bike, because I wanted to just see the difference, how they rode in comparison. And it swings and roundabouts really. Off-road this is better, on-road that's better. But I'm used to this. This is the thing. It's got rigid forks, whereas that's got suspension, so that was a little bit more challenging. I had a little bit of air at the front tyre, and then it became a bit more bearable, because when I've just changed the tyre on here, I had a lot of pressure in it, so it was pretty rough. But then I was thinking to myself, well, a lot of people are going to ride this event on gravel bikes or bikes with rigid forks, so it's nice to get an idea of how it felt. And there were a few sections in the video, as you'll see. Not sure how much of it I saw. I didn't film Friday, by the way, at all. I just wanted to ride the whole thing without filming. I don't have to worry about it. But there was some really, really rough, loose, bouldery sections which are now not in it. I'm going to go back this coming week and just ride the little bit at the end, because that's the only bit that's not very good. It's too hilly at the end of a ride. It just does your head in, because what you want to do is you want to finish on a bit of an easy section just to roll into the campsite, whereas the section that I rode on Friday was just ridiculously hard, and I was suffering a bit. And I just thought this is going to spoil the ride. So anyway, I'm going to tweak that this week. But today I noticed I cooked my brakes. I've done a long descent. There are quite a few long descents, and one way to stop your brakes fading is to put a bigger rotor on. So I'm changing this one, which is a 160, to a 180. What that does is, the bigger the rotor, the longer it takes to get hot. Obviously, you can imagine you've got more surface area for the brake to brake on. So if you run a little tiny rotor, a 140, it cooks really quick. That's why people run bigger rotors on downhill bikes. They run a 200 or a 223, because they just don't cook as quickly. It's not the amount of pistons, or it's not the amount of grip on the pad. It's just the fact you generate a lot of heat, and then you get brake fade. So yesterday, I had no rear brake. So I'm going to change to a 180 on the back. Lucky I had a 180 on another wheel, so I'm going to take that off and swap it over. Because the other thing you have to do when you change the rotor is to change the brake mount. And for the life of me, I can never remember which one goes on, for the life of me, because there's so many. because we've got Hope brakes, so I've got Hope adapters. I think this is the right one. I'm just going to check. If you go on the Hope website, and it will tell you which one does what. Brake mount chart. Yeah, just go on their website. I'll put a link to it actually, and then you can see. So rear, not IS. This is post mount. Well, I'll just show you. Right. If you ever hear the term post mount or IS, it means the brake mount. Let me just see if I can find. What can I find that's the old type? Have I got anything? I don't think I have. So that's good, isn't it? So that's post mount, right? So what that means is you've got two posts sticking up that the brake sits on. And IS is from the side. So the bolt will go in from the side. So you have a different brake adapter. Depends on the mount on the frame. Depends what's on your frame. If the hole is across, not down, then that's a different. It's so that would be like this. This is an IS mount. Hope that makes sense. So most frames these days are post mount, or there's a new one which is direct. Oh, flat mount, Horry, is a new one. I'll put some little pictures of it. I'll show you the three different sorts. There's a flat mount, which tends to be road bike. So the mount is really, really low to the frame or the fork. That's why they call it flat mount. I don't do any bike frames that are flat mount. I may do in the future, because some of the gravel group sets, the calipers are flat mount. So you can't get a mountain bike caliper to fit. Anyway, let me just check this, just to make sure I've got the right one, because they've all got a number on. This is an L. I can't remember whether it's a right post mount. Oh, it is 160 to 180. Brilliant. So a type L. A type L, if you've got Hope brakes, will boost it front or rear, fork or rear post mount, will boost it from 160 to 180. So you just bolt this on, and then it just pushes the brake away from the frame a bit more, or the fork, and gives you that extra capacity so that you can fit your bigger rotor. So I am going to do that now. Now it's a little bit trickier on this particular bike because I've got a rear rack, but basically the principle's the same. Just take your caliper off, because each frame and each fork will have a minimum size rotor. Most are 160. Some forks can be 180 standard, so you don't need a mount at all. Just check on your fork, or in the documentation for the fork, or on the fork's website, and it'll say somewhere the disc rotor size standard. And some downhill forks I think are 200 standard, so, or 203. But most rear mounts will be 160. Because it's quite common to run a smaller rotor on the rear than it is on the front. I've just noticed that I've got this bolt here is fouling. That's probably why it was creaking. I had a creak whilst I was out riding, and I think there's a bolt that goes through. This bolt that holds the rack on is going right through that and just touching the drop out. And I think it's going, because when I put the brake on, this all flexes and it makes a horrendous noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a washer between that, just to bring the bolt away a bit. Right, so this goes on here. You just got to make sure you get it the right way around. So once you've got the adapter on, then you can just fit the brake on as before. Also, if you've got a Hope mount, make sure you use the right bolts, the bolts that come with it, because this one, if it sticks up too much, will foul the caliper. Let's bolt that on. Make sure it's tight, don't want anything coming loose. Then pop your caliper on. And then just nip these up, don't do them tight, because you've got to align your caliper again with the rotor. Right, that's on.
I'll leave that now loose like that until I put the wheel back in. What I am going to do though is take this bolt out. I need to get a different Allen key and just move that, put a washer in there. Just have my cup of tea. Cannot let tea go cold. Right, washers. These parts bins, I don't know about you, but you have all these sections, and when you start doing it, you put everything in here and everything in there. And before you know it, it ends up as a jumble. And you've gained nothing. But in here, there should be a washer. Right, I reckon that should be about right, I think. Right, I'm going to take this off and pop a washer in and stop this damn creaking. Right, done it. I didn't file it down, I just put 2 washers on. It's absolutely fine. Just means things clear a bit more as well. I mean, that 2 mil is nothing. This rack flexes that much. So all done. So that bolt no longer touches the dropout, so it shouldn't get any creaking now. So the rotor I took off my old wheel, which is this one, which was on my Henderson. So I'm going to put the smaller one back on here, just for now. Just put that back. So this one is the wheel I'm going to use. So first thing is to give this a bit of a clean up. Might as well, as soon as you've got it apart. I always do opposites. I don't know whether it really matters, but years ago when we used to put the head on a car engine, Dad used to always say to me, or wheels, on you put a wheel back on a car, always go opposites to spread the load, the tension on what you're tightening up. So I always do it. I never just go round, I just go opposites. It's funny habits you get into, but I guess it's probably the right way to do it. And once you've got them all up, then you just go around the lot, nip them up. It's probably quite a good idea to put Loctite on these, but I haven't got any. So I was going to put some on, but I've just had a good look around and I can't find any. Obviously you've left your caliper loose, so it should all slide together nicely like that. That's it. As I've said before, the best way to do this is to hold the brake on. I'll spin the wheel. Oops. Oh, let's get the chain back on first. And then put the back brake on, hold the brake on and then tighten it up. It's a little bit fiddly with a rack. A spin. Let's wheel back on here, out the way. That's it. Now there was one other thing I noticed, which was very, very evident, and I don't know why, is I get a sore bum with this. I've been singing the praises of these seats for so long, and I've got them on all of my bikes except for one. Yes, I think they're on all my bikes. Herbie's got one on somewhere there. Dog bike's got one on, but the Surly hasn't. It's got this, and I had absolutely no issues on this saddle when I went out on Monday. Nothing. So I am going to swap this saddle. This is a genetic road saddle. I'm going to swap it onto my Raven. Let's put this seat off. It's sort of a little bit, if that's what it is, it's a bit annoying because I've done loads of reviews, well not loads of reviews, but I did a review on this saddle saying how wonderful it was, but the pain yesterday was horrendous by the time I'd done 50 miles. And luckily I haven't got to buy a saddle to try it because I've got one here that I know did work. So it'll be interesting to see. Saddles are a complete
personal thing. It doesn't matter what somebody says to you or what the manufacturers say. They might say, oh, this saddle is this and this saddle is that. If your bum doesn't work with it, it doesn't work with it. Simple as that. So the only way is to try saddles, but it's a very expensive process. You can't just keep buying saddles till you find the right one. So, I don't know. Tricky one. Always has been. Always has been. But if you do find one that works for you, for goodness sake, hang on to it. I've loved this saddle. I've had these for ages, but I've never had the experience that I had the other day with that one. Right, I'm going to take that one off now. Not sure you're going to see a lot here because it's a bit dark, but what I might do is just take the seat post out. That'll make life a bit easier. I can do it on the bench. This is when ball end Allen keys are quite good. You've got a ball on the end. You've got a normal end and a ball end. Ball ends are good. When it's loose, you can use the ball end, but you can't tighten up with the ball end because it'll round it off. So it's just good for getting in certain places, such as this. And so this is quite a bog standard genetic saddle, roadie type saddle. So be interesting to see. Quite different shapes, as you can see there. More or less the same width, but I like these because they're short, but different profiles, I suppose. This one sort of rolls off more. This one's a bit flatter. Maybe that's what it is. Because haven't got the widest of hips, so even though when I sit, my sit bones are about 143, and that is a 145. Oh, it is 143. So that is a 143. So that is my size, but didn't feel very comfortable yesterday. So I'm going to see what this one is. I don't know what this is. Can't tell. But we'll put it on and see. There's only one way to find out. I'll have to fiddle around a bit with position as well. I'll probably take it out in a minute and give it a ride around and just see, get the right position. 4.5, that way I mean. And also you need to get it level. So I'll leave that aside and take the bike outside. So it seems better, but it's obviously can't tell till you go out and ride it. So position wise it's right. It's a little bit further back, so we shall see. The rails are a little bit longer, I think. No, actually they're not. No, they're shorter actually. But you can see the difference in the length of the saddle. So it could be that these wings are too far forward because these are further back. So maybe I'm just sat on too much here. This bit here is rubbing me. But whatever it is, this does feel... This is the most bog standard seat as well. Nothing fancy. It's got the nice groove down the middle just to relieve things, but we'll try it and see, because I must admit, when I rode the Surly the other day, I had no issues at all. Nothing. So I really am hoping that it does work. It just means I've got loads of these saddles to sell. Anyway, right. Oh, there's one other thing I did want to mention, and that is I've been using the Fix Plus. Remember I put it on the other day? Fix Plus mount. These little tiny mounts and the little short. Brilliant. They really are good. Because having these little retainers on here, it just means you haven't got anything flapping around. Actually, that's popped out of there. I was just fiddling with it earlier. But yeah, it keeps everything nice and tidy. And I love it. It's just simple. I've got the other one on there, but that's obviously a little bit wider. The other cradle. That's more for your forks. But this, you could run these anywhere really on the top tube. I've got a couple of bolts on there. I could actually mount these on there and do whatever really. But yeah, thoroughly recommend those little mounts. And the strap, having loads of sizes is really, really handy. So looking forward to using those a lot more going forward. Let's just swap you onto another mount. Hang on. That's better. Right, so I think that's about it for this week. There's not much else to do this week. Next week, coming up next week is food. I've been asked three or four times now recently to do something about what we eat. So what I'm going to do is get my wife and I are going to do something for you, show you what we eat during a day, and we'll talk about our lifestyle, and this is what we do because and what does seem to be working. So that's next week. There will also be some more riding next week, and there was something else. I can't remember what it is at the moment, but there will be other stuff coming next week, obviously. Right, okay. I hope you enjoy the video. Like I say, we've been everywhere this week. I hope you like the trip to Rhayader to see the Elan Valley and all the dams, and also my scoot around testing out the route for the Surly 100, amongst other things. So yeah, hope you have a fantastic week. Hope the weather's kind to you and everything else is kind to you. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, take it easy, everybody. Thanks for watching. Oh, and like the video. I always forget all this stuff. Like and subscribe. Can you please subscribe to the video? Can you please like the video? I should do this at the bid. Most people, when you see them, the video will start and it'll get halfway, get about a minute or so in, and it will go, oh, I'd really appreciate it if you would help me, by subscribing to my video. It really helps. I really can't bring myself to do that, but I should do, I suppose. But anyway, you can do it now anyway, if you've got this far. Right, bye.